Hello everyone, myself Raju. I am working as an assistant professor in BVC Engineering College, Autonomous Vadalrevo. Today we are going to discuss about wireless sensors and networks. These are the list of contents I am going to talk on: definition, architecture of wireless sensor network, advantage, applications, disadvantages, and the design issues of wireless sensor network. First of all, I would like to give the two terms, basic terms, that is wide network and wireless network, and then I will define the definition of wireless sensor network. Okay, coming to the wide network, the term wide is represents any physical medium that uses wires such as optical fibers or twisted pair cables or coaxial cables for sharing the information from one device to another device. Whereas wireless, the term wireless represents there is no physical medium involved between one component to another component for sharing the information. Therefore, here EM waves or infrared waves are used as a carrier or a medium for sharing the information from one device to another device. Here the devices are wireless devices. They have antenna or sensor, and these are uses few of the wireless protocols for sharing the informations like Wi-Fi protocols or Bluetooth protocol or Zigbee protocols. Okay, now coming to the definition of wireless sensor network. It is a wireless network consisting of spatially distributed autonomous devices using sensors to monitor or record physical or environmental conditions such as temperature, sound, vibration, pressure, motion or pollutants, humidity, intensity, wind, wind direction, and so on at different locations to collectively pass the information through a network to a main location where the data has been analyzed and observed. Okay, so we can also define the term definition in another manner. It is a wireless network consisting of a specialized transit users with communication infrastructure that uses sensors used to monitor or record physical or environmental conditions such as temperature, sound, vibration, intensity, humidity, and so on at diverse locations to collectively pass the information through network to a main location where the data has been observed and analyzed. Okay, so simply, if you consider a area, so that area is equipped with or deployed with many number of wireless devices. That wireless devices uses sensing equipment as well as communication device and computing device, and these accommodately work together, and they are going to detect the physical parameter, and that parameter is passed to the main location. Using that data, they are going to observe it and analyze it. Okay, if immediate action need to be taken, if it is required, they are going to control from there. Okay, and these wireless devices are small in size, and they require a limited capacity of storage capacity is limited, and limited bandwidth as well as computation power is also minimum. And these wireless devices are deployed in any environment, physical environment, and these wireless devices are self-organized multi-hop mechanism is used for sharing the information between them and to pass the information to the main location. Now look at the basic architecture of wireless sensor network. It consisting many number of sensor nodes within a cluster, and one colored circle is there that is represented as a gateway or sink or a base station, and the next one person sitting in front of computer or system or laptop, anything, and that particular section is represented as a main location, and he or she is the person is going to observe the data which is coming from the network and analyzed. Okay, so and these wireless sensor nodes are uses ISM band of frequency, radio frequency 2.4 gigahertz. Okay, here the gateway is acts as an interface between network to the main location. There is a wide network from gateway to the main location, as well as wireless communication between wireless network to gateway. And if we consider a cluster, this cluster consisting many number of wireless devices, that devices nothing but the sensor nodes or modes that uses some of the components like sensing equipment, as well as computational equipment, computational device, or a memory, and as well as communication device for sharing the information from one component to the another, and pass the information to the main location. Okay, so this cluster consisting many number of sensor nodes, so usually these are in the range from okay, hundreds to thousands. Okay, so in that cases, to identify each and every sensor node within the cluster, we are going to assign unique IP address to the sensor along with that attribute. Okay, let us consider this cluster have nearly 50 nodes are there. Okay, so what I am doing is I am going to assign unique address to the first sensor. Let us consider it is temperature sensor. So T1 it is a name, and I am going to assign the one address, and the second address is 2. Okay, so the attribute means the sensor is going to detect one more parameter, just like gases. Okay, so name is G1. That means T1 is a one type of sensor that is going to detect the temperature, and the address is 1, and G1. Okay, here the sensor is going to detect the gases, and the address is 2. Similarly, I am going to assign the unique IP address or a unique addresses to the number of sensors within the clusters. Okay, if anything data want to send by these sensors to the main location, okay, along with the data, the sensing device is also send the information with ID also. Okay, means if temperature is sent to the destination, okay, to the main location, so along with the temperature, let us consider the temperature is 50. Okay, 50 degrees centigrade is there. Okay, along with that 50 degrees centigrade, okay, one unique IP address of that sensor is also sent to the destination. So what we assign here, that is 1. Okay, name is T1 and unique IP address is 1. Along with the information, both are sent to the destination. Okay, whereas coming to the destination, and he is going to analyze the data, and if necessary actions need to be taken, and he is going to take it. Okay, means he is the person control the, okay, each and every parameter, means he is going to take the necessary actions. Okay, and now coming to the advantages. Before going to the advantages, I would like to tell you one more point of this wireless sensor nodes within the cluster. And these sensor nodes, there are there are two tasks are performed by the sensor nodes within the cluster. One is a continuous task or continuous event, and the second one is event driven. Okay, so what is meant by this continuous and event driven task? Okay, now just look at this. Let us consider two of the applications. One is I would like to track an object. Okay, in that case, so definitely I'm going to locate each and every point to point of that object with the real time. Okay, so in that case, the sensor doesn't want to kept in an ideal. Okay, means it always should be a power up. Okay, so at every moment what the object it has, okay, where it is located at so on so on time, okay. And if any movement is there, immediately regarding to that movement, it is sent to the destination, okay. So that is continuous task performed by that sensor node. And now coming to the event driven mode, okay, or event driven task, okay. So in that case, so just now we discussed the temperature sensor, okay. What I am going to doing in that temperature sensor, simply I am going to setting one threshold level. If the temperature is above that threshold level, then only the sensor is going to detect it, okay. Otherwise, what is the job of that sensor? So definitely no need to detect it, right? So that must be in a ideal mode, okay. So that is event driven, means if event is occur, then only the sensor is going to detect it, okay. So these two tasks are performed by the sensor nodes within the cluster, okay. Now coming to the advantages, we have so many number of advantages are there. And first one is it is apt for the non reachable places like mountains, over the sea, rural areas, and forest, okay. So and it is flexible, and it is execution price is also inexpensive. It avoids plenty of firing, okay. If you consider the wide network, okay, so one of the drawback of wide network is for communication purpose it require wire, okay. So whereas in a wireless network, that is not happens, means everything we can share without wire, okay. And these wireless sensor networks means we can create wireless sensor network in the places where humans are not reachable, means non-reachable places. Like we can deploy many number of sensors within the forest for measuring the few of the physical parameters like temperature as well as humidity, okay. And if any accident is occurs in that forest, like forest fire detections, so to detect these forest fire detections, we are going to deploy many number of sensors within the network, okay. So if you just imagine it, is it possible with the wired connection? If you want to measure with the wire, definitely it is not possible. Why? Because the geographical area of forest is huge, okay. So you couldn't connect each and every device using wire, okay. So that's why, so it is a main advantage in a wireless sensor network. It is adaptable for the not reachable places like mountains, over the sea, rural areas, and the deep forest, okay. And the next one is, okay, let us consider the one more example. If we deploy many number of sensors within a cluster, if any sensor node is damaged, we can easily replace that sensor node with the new one, okay. So that is also one of the advantages. So while replacing the damaged with the new one, that takes less time, whereas compared to the wide network, just imagine if one component or one system or any device is damaged in the wide network. So you can imagine what is the time taken by that network to replace with the damaged with the new one, okay. Now compared to the wide network, this is one of the advantages in wireless network, okay. And the next one more is it can open by using centralized monitoring, means if you want to do any information, okay, so the entire information we can easily gather from the gateway to the main location, okay. Simply we are giving some query to the network, and the response is getting back to the main location through gateway, okay. So compared to the wide network, it is more flexible, okay, in terms of monitoring. Now coming to the applications, okay. This wireless sensor network has a tremendous results in the various domains. Okay, and this wireless sensor network is the solution for the many problems in many domains. Okay, few of the applications of these wireless sensor networks are these are used in transportation, and these are used in industrials and precision agriculture, animal tracking, environmental monitoring, entertainment, security, and so on. These are the applications. Okay, there is no limit is there. Many number of vast applications are there. These wireless sensor networks used in many. Okay, so only few are the listed here. Now coming to the military applications. These wireless sensors are used in military applications for monitoring as well as identifying any snipers are there, and the detection also. And these are used to identify the landmines. Okay, and battlefield surveillance can be done through these sensors. And as well as if any equipment is required, they are going to monitor using these sensors. Means simply I'm going to fix one camera, so camera is also one type of sensor. If any equipment is required, so whatever the equipment needed in that particular place, that can be remotely accessing by main location using that sensor. And the corresponding remedial actions or information is sent to the particular place. Okay, and it is also used in healthcare monitoring. Okay, and if you insist these sensors into the human body, and we are going to detect the few of the parameters like the person continuous health diagnosis, and as well as know where the person is located, and whether the heartbeat uh, is in a good manner or not, whatever the BP, blood pressure. Okay, what is the patient conditions, everything we can monitor from the hospital itself. No need to go to the patient, and no need to check these things like heartbeat as well as blood pressure level, and whether he is ill or not. Okay, so everything we can control from the hospital itself. Means we can give the some prescriptions if the person has if the person has fever is there. Okay, so using these sensors we can give some prescription to that person by giving the commands. Commands are nothing but simply you are making a phone call to that particular person, and you can guide them. So this is the your uh, fever, this is the temperature you have. Okay, so you have to take this course in such a way that you can guide that person. Okay, and a few of the sensors are there, and these sensors we can wear it. Wearable devices are used on body surfaces of a human, and just as close to the proximity of the user, and these are used to track that person also. Okay, and this wireless sensor network is also used in environment and earth sensing. Not only track the humans, and these sensors also used to track the animals as well as birds and record them. And these are also used in atmospheric context, and these are also used in irrigation. Okay, and these are also used in agriculture. So if you consider the agriculture, and a few of the sensors are deployed in agriculture, the main job of the sensors are they are going to identify if water level is below the set water level is below the certain level. Means if the land is completely dry, so in that case definitely for the paddy fields water is required. In that case the information is sent to the farmer. Okay, so from the home itself the farmers can switch on the motor, and the water is supplied to the agricultural land, means paddy field. Okay, if the land is wet, it is enough to the paddy field, and that is also information sent to the farmers, and they can switch up the motor. Okay, so likewise many of the parameters we can check or we can detect using these sensors in agriculture. Okay, if you consider the irrigation, you can check the levels water levels of water levels in the in the rivers and dams. Okay, not only unique application, it has many number of applications. If you consider the air pollution monitoring as one of the application, and you can fix these many number of sensors in cities. Okay, in that cities we can identify what are the dangerous gases in that particular area, whether these gases are dangerous to the peoples or not. Okay, we can monitor using these sensors, and that information is sent to the control room. Okay, if is there any dangerous gases are present, so definitely the person or the control room, they are going to take the remedial action by sprinkling some of the quantities to the against these gases. And one more application is environment, that is forest fire detection. Okay, already I told that many of the sensor nodes are deployed in a forest, so they are going to uh, detect if any sudden fire accidents are happens in the forest. Okay, if that is happen, immediately the temperature as well as smoke rises in that forest. Using these sensors like temperature as well as fog and dangerous gases. Okay, toxics are many number of toxics are there once a forest fire happens. Okay, in that case these three sensors are sending the information to the main location. Okay, so the person who is sitting in a system or a computer, they are going to take the remedial action as per the data received from these sensors from the forest. Okay, and not only that one, these are also used in water quality monitoring. Okay, so these are placed in rivers or dams or oceans as well as underground waters, and they are going to measure the what is the purity of water, what are the minerals. Okay, so everything we are going to control, and not only control, we are going to measure, and the data is sent to the main location. And these are also used in a natural disasters prevention. Okay, for example natural disaster like floods, okay, and earthquakes. In that cases also these sensors are helps to the persons. Okay, if you consider the floods, simply you are placing many number of sensors on the rivers. Okay, if that level is, if the water level is above the certain level, okay, immediately that information is sent to the main location. Okay, and similarly earthquakes. Okay, seismic sensor is the one example for detecting the earthquakes. And not only in the environment, and these are also used in transportation section. Okay, transport application is also one of the major application of wireless sensor network, and these sensors are in transportation, they are going to, okay, monitor the traffic and the dynamic routing, and we can track the vehicle where it is located. And these sensors also equipped in cars or vehicles to track it, as well as, okay, to monitor the toxics which are coming from the cars. I mean, that is nothing but the pollutant levels, we can also detect it. Okay, and self-driving cars also using these sensors while a sensing network for driving the cars. Okay, and the one more application is, it is used in home automation. We can easily find a few of the sensors in different home appliances like refrigerators, microwave ovens, vacuum cleaners, security systems, and water monitoring systems. Okay, so not only this, we have many number of applications are there, and we can also use this sensors in health condition of the bridge, whether it is a weak or not. And these sensors also used in industrials, and these are used in missions to check the health condition of a machine. If any part of the machine is a failure to work, that information is also sent to the owners or the maintainers. Okay, many of the applications are there. So these are the few of the applications. Now coming to the limitations of wireless sensor network. Already I told the network consisting wireless devices. Okay, because of that one, the data offering speed of network is less compared to the wired network. And the second disadvantage is it uses some of the wireless protocols. Okay, if you are not providing the high security wireless protocols, definitely hackers are may entering into our network. They are going to tamper the valuable information, or they can change the information. Okay, so that is main drawback of this wireless sensor network. Okay, and the one more drawback of this wireless sensor network, it is somewhat more hard harder configuration than the wired network. Why? Because we are going to deploy many number of sensor nodes within the network, and each sensor node has its own task, right? One is temperature, and the second one is humidity, and the second one is something intensity and pollutant, and so on. Okay, so once we use many number of sensors with the different attributes, so we need to provide the good algorithms to share all the information between one to another, to pass the information to the backend, as well as to utilize the bandwidth in an equal manner. That is also one of the okay best one of the parameter, okay, for the good quality of the network. Okay, in that case, that is configuring the network, it is somewhat difficult while compared to the wide network. And these wireless devices are distracted by the Bluetooth or some other wireless protocols. Uh, some other protocols. Next, coming to the design issues of wireless sensor network. Okay, the first one is heterogeneity. Already just now I told that the network consisting many number of wireless devices, and each one have a different task. So we have to collaborate all these sensor nodes, so that is one biggest challenge. And the next one is distributing the processing. If a number of devices are there, each one have a different task. Okay, so we need to provide a good algorithms that to be centralized that algorithm to process the data, and allocation of bandwidth to all the sensor nodes within the network, that is difficult. Okay, so here you have to categorize the number of sensor nodes as per the task. Few of the sensor nodes are there. One is a continuous event sensor nodes, and the next one is event driven sensor nodes are there. So in that case you have to identify, so what are the priority sensor nodes, real time sensor nodes, and what are the non real time sensor nodes. If both are detecting the physical parameters at a time, okay, and how this allocation, how the bandwidth is allocated to those sensor nodes, and how the information is sending to the main location. So that is also one of the biggest task in the deployment of wireless deployment of sensors within the network. And the next one is utilization of sensors. Okay, and just now I tell that all this, okay, how to utilize the energy, and how to utilize the time. Okay, and one more is fault tolerance. Okay, so many number of sensor nodes are there, and these nodes are may easily damage to the environmental conditions. Okay, and node failures are easily come into the picture, because these or exhausted their energy supply, as well as they may distracted with the environmental conditions like cyclones. Okay, or if the temperature is above a certain level, few of the components may not work properly. Okay, in that case it is also a big challenge. You have to overcome this problem while deploying these sensors in a network. And the one more is scalability. Many number of nodes are there, and each node have to detect a few different parameters with a high resolution of data. So if the high resolution of data is detected by the nodes, definitely we have to provide the more bandwidth to that particular sensor. If you are providing the all the allocated all the bandwidth to a particular sensor, and then what about the remaining sensor nodes within the network? Okay, so that is also one of the biggest task, biggest challenge, okay, you have to overcome. And the network topology, what type of network topology we have to consider for the network. If is a star topology is enough for the network or within the area, okay, so you have to choose many you have to choose the best optimal topology within the network rather than the other one. Okay, so if star is enough, so no need to do with a mesh or no need to install the some hybrid topology. Okay, if we choose a hybrid topology instead of star topology, definitely the energy consumed by this component is waste one. Okay, means so instead of less power they are going to take the huge amount of power. Okay, in that case, we are violating the one of the most important mechanism to preserve the energy in the wireless network. Why? Because we are not providing a theatered power supply to the sensor devices. We are not providing. Okay, so simply what we are doing, we are providing the energy from the rechargeable batteries. Okay, and these rechargeable batteries are getting the energy from the environment by using solar panels. Okay, so that's why, so we have to choose the best optimal topology which is suitable for the network as well as application to compute the data. Okay, and the power consumption, just now I said that. Okay, these wireless sensor nodes are in have a limited size of battery. Okay, and these nodes have software and hardware, so that okay, how much amount of energy is required to complete it, that much enough amount of energy utilized by the sensor nodes. Okay, so that is also one of the tasks. And the transmission medium. Okay, so as we know that ISM band of frequency 2.4 gigahertz is used for the transmission. Okay, so all these factors you have to come into the okay consider in the mind while deploying sensor network within an area. Okay, so thank you, I hope you understood so what we discussed in the same lecture. So once recall, so we discussed about the definition of wireless sensor network, and we saw the basic structure, and we discussed about the few of the advantages, applications and disadvantages, and the finally challenges of wireless sensor network. Thank you.